Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pink Table Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Carly D., a doctorally prepared nurse, mentor, professional development specialist, educator, victims advocate, and thriver. The show is produced by Lawin Media Network, and you can catch us live every Wednesday, either on our YouTube live channel, Facebook Live, Twitch TV, and on all podcast platforms. So we are continuing on with season 5. We started off really on a great start with Nurse Rap. We had some music. It was our first live musical performance. And so I'm just been so excited and so blessed that we have a season 5. And I'm so excited for all the wonderful and inspiring guests that we have coming down the pipeline for you guys. So you definitely have to check us out every single week. Tonight, we have a beautifully talented actress, Sara Martinez. She goes by Sara Martinez by day, Sara Monarch by night. So welcome to the show, Sara Martinez.
Hi Carly. Hi, Dr. D.
Hey, Sara, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the Houston rain. But it's been a great day. Yourself?
Yes. Yeah, this is the time of year, we don't know what we're going to have. Heat wave, cold front, rainstorm in the middle of the day. It's just all over the place.
All at once.
Yes. Well, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here today. I've been meaning to get you on the show. I know you're doing so many great things. You have so many amazing projects. And so I definitely want to talk about that today. But let's give our audience your background. So talk to us. Who is Sara Martinez?
So Sara Martinez, I am born in San Antonio, Texas. My mother migrated to Texas from Mexico. She's from Guadalajara, Jalisco. So we're Tapatías. Yes. And my dad, he's Puerto Rican. He's from the island and spent about 20 years in Bronx. So he's like a Puerto Rican Bronx. Yes. I have 2 sisters.
New York.
Yes, I love New York. I worked there a little bit too. I worked in Brooklyn for a little bit 2 years ago. I have 2 half brothers and 2 sisters. So I'm the middle child.
Very nice. And so tell us more about your upbringing, your development being in a multicultural home.
Being multicultural, I feel like just based off my appearance, I am racially ambiguous and stuff. So I feel like growing up, I experienced a lot of hardships because of it. I didn't really fit into any molds and stuff. And then my family, like I'd go home and eat beans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But like when I'd be outside in public, I look black and I love it. I mean, I don't mind it, but people would treat me, with the good and the bad, with everything. And so that was just different because it's culturally and like at home, I didn't learn how to speak English till I was 7 years old. So it was also like, learning experiences like that. But it was really, I feel like growing up was different and hard, but God's really been protecting me the whole time and giving me strength. So it's been pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really wonderful. I had a colleague tell me that she thinks in French, and so she has to translate in her head before she talks. Is the same for you, but with Spanish?
I feel like yes. I feel like I have like a Spanglish brain. Like sometimes I forget English and sometimes I forget Spanish. And I'm just like, give me a minute. I'm trying to like sort this out in my head. So yeah, it
Yeah.
happens. It's definitely like a bilingual thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's funny. I love Spanish. I love the Spanish language. I love the Spanish culture. My grandma, she's from Panama. And so, we learned a little bit of Spanish growing up in New York City. But I would love to definitely immerse myself more in the Spanish language and culture. I feel a passion for it. I definitely feel my roots in it.
That's cute. Panama's a beautiful country. Have you been able to go yet?
No, not yet, but it's definitely on my bucket list for sure, for sure. So speaking of visiting countries, have you done any travel to your parents' hometown?
Yes, to both. So the first time I went to Puerto Rico was when I was about 12, and I've been three times. It was really nice because my dad's older. He's 77 right now. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, he's 22 years older than my mom.
Wow.
So he still
Yeah.
had it. Yeah, he was still pulling people in his 50s, or late 40s. Yeah, definitely my
Yes.
family tree is unique. So yeah, I've been to his hometown. I visited my family there. So I really love Puerto Rico. He doesn't need a GPS, which I think is super cute. That he's like, oh, go here, go there, and in some way we're at a beach buying like frozen empanadas, and then we go home and I was like, how did we even get here? So it's really
Mm.
cool. You see all these beautiful beaches and ports that are like hidden. So I loved it. And then my mom, I went to Guadalajara for the first time in 16 years 2 years ago. So I went 16 years
Wow.
without seeing my family. So yeah, it was
Mhm.
very beautiful getting to see my family again. They definitely spoiled us and they were fighting for our time. So I love that part.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you mentioned that growing up, you and your family had some financial struggles. Tell us about that and how did you overcome those challenges?
I feel like God because my family, like my mom and my dad, they didn't know Spanish, and thankfully, like my grandma came to America with my mom, like 2, 3 years after she did, and so they both came, and so they didn't know English, right? They're not from here. My dad was incarcerated when I was about 5 years old, so he was like the breadwinner, and so my
Mhm.
mom having to like step up. I remember my grandma would walk to my school and walk us back home because like my mom had to work, and so I feel like it was hard. Like I remember I would eat pancakes for breakfast like all the time. I was always a chubby kid, but it was always pancakes because all you needed was water. It was just water in the box, and then like again back. I feel like it dawned on me that we were struggling a lot financially when my dad's a veteran too. So there was this box of gifts under the Christmas tree, and they were wrapped, and they're like, "Oh, special, like something cute for the kids." And I was like, "Oh, I know that company." Like I remember hearing it at school. It's like, "Oh, it's for kids who don't have." I was like, "Oh, we don't have money." I remember that resource. I remember that resource as a kid, and I was like, "Okay." Out of jail, he worked. He started his own construction business because no one would hire him. So he started his own business, and he was working all the time. He would take us to work too. Because my grandma started working, my mom was working, so my dad would take us to the construction site after school on the. We were also like 10. Like it was me and my two sisters, and we're all just girls. So it's like we're outside in the heat, and he's doing construction work, working on sheds and tiles. So I feel like I didn't appreciate how hard he worked as I was younger, but now I'm glad he finally stopped working and he's able to rest. So yeah, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of all we had was each other. So I feel like that was really important.
That's wonderful. That's really great. I feel that sometimes in life, the struggles and challenges that we face as children help us to be more closer with our families. And we kind of build this everlasting bond through that shared experience. So tell us more, though, about when your father was incarcerated. What was that like growing up?
I hated him. I feel like my dad, God bless him, because I love him unconditionally now. Like I cried. He struggled with substance abuse when I was younger, and so like he was like an alcoholic, and he was like the aggressive kind. He was an aggressive alcoholic, and so growing up, having that experience, like like he'd be physically aggressive towards us and stuff when we were kids, and then when he got incarcerated, he found God, and so I feel like he replaced one addiction with another at one point too. He became overly religious, and so that was also, yes, religion trauma is also something I went through. We'll talk about that. And so I remember missing out Daddy's Daughter Dance. I was in Girl Scouts, and so they're like, "Oh, Father's Day. Oh, Dad this, Dad that." And I'm like, "No, not me, my sister." And so it was very like humbling. They do talk about how children who have parents who are incarcerated, it does affect them like mentally, emotionally, and so it's really like impactful for me to be able to give back to kids who have been through the same experience. But yeah, it definitely was. It does mess with you a lot more than you think. When you separate a family, you separate father, especially like the breadwinner from a household, it definitely does leave a big stain, not only in a child's heart, but like it does rewire their brain as well. So studying that and like living that has brought healing, but it's definitely something that continues, so yeah.
What have you done for yourself personally throughout your adult life to help you deal with some of that residue from that experience?
For me, it's like I'm gonna talk about God a lot. 'Cause I feel like that's really like all I can do, because like for me, like I honestly feel like I've never to like I'm still healing. You know what I mean? I'm still working on my self confidence. I'm still working on my worth, because I feel like I distracted myself a lot. I would always prioritize other people first and like put my heart on the sleeve for them. And so I feel like for me was helping others is how it helped me heal, especially working with kids. Like I work with adults too, but working with kids, because like I always see myself in them. And so I always try to relate. I'm like, oh, I'm yelling at myself right now. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's helped me. You know how I am with kids too. So I feel like healing me has been working with kids and giving them a safe space, because I didn't really have that growing up, and making them feel seen and loved, because I was like, I was you at one point and I didn't have someone like me. So that's how I've healed. But right now, acting, I feel like scares me so bad, but it's definitely pushing me. And so I feel like right now, acting is something I'm truly falling in love with. So I feel like that's where my healing is at the moment.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And what advice would you give for children today, or even teenagers who are dealing with parents that are incarcerated? We have a large number of families who have
Yeah.
parents that are incarcerated here in this country. So what advice would you give to them today?
I would give kids, remember to be patient. Like it's their first time being a parent too, and a lot of times people are incarcerated longer than they deserve. And it's just kind of like yes, you miss them, yes, you feel angry, but no, they feel just as bad, if not worse. And they are forced to be away from you. So I feel like writing, drawing, expressing yourself, praying, that helps you a lot, because I feel like kids just should express themselves through art as much as they can, like draw. If you miss your dad, if you miss your mom, if you miss your uncle, like just draw them a picture. You can mail stuff to them. See if you can get them a call. I know sometimes you can video call now from prison. So like really like just express yourself, and if you're missing them, go to a counselor. Don't go to someone else who's like a similar story as you too, to kind of find like you're in community in your school. So that helped a lot. It's just kind of like writing through it. Like for me, writing really helped me a lot. I stopped, and I would love to get back into it, but writing everything down, it's like just throw up on the paper, just vomit, word vomit, just everywhere, and don't think too much, because like sometimes when we're writing, we're like, oh, what's that word? How do you spell this? And like I just draw a line. I like write, draw a line, and keep going. So like don't be too much in your head too, like being present with yourself. And you are valid. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be scared, frustrated. Because like I didn't know when my dad was coming out. And then my mom, like bless her heart, like they had shame, right? So like no one at my school knew that my dad was incarcerated. We just tell them like he's in a hospital, you know. So it was even where, like, I was getting the support that I needed from teachers or counselors because like my parents just had so much shame. And then my mom was still learning English at the time. So it's like we had to read paperwork. And the reason why my father was incarcerated, like he was found not guilty, but his attorney at the time told him to say he was guilty. And so he was incarcerated for almost 3 years. So, but it was still like pivotal point because I was 6, 7, and 8, and they say a child's brain solidifies at 7. So
Yes.
it was a very crucial time for me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, wonderful. I love that advice, write it out, draw it out, find your creative form of expression. I feel that is so therapeutic and it is so healing, especially in children who may have difficulty expressing themselves and using their words. I feel that art is such a great form of expression for them, especially when dealing with something so traumatic as a parent that may be behind bars. So I thank you for sharing that advice with our audience. We're going to go ahead to you're so welcome. We're going to go ahead with our first commercial break of the evening, but everybody stay tuned for more Pink Table Talk with Sara Martinez.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Welcome back, everybody, to Pink Table Talk. Tonight, we're talking with Sara Martinez, a beautifully talented actress. We have a comment from Mimi De Veras. He says, ¿Cómo estás? We have some Spanish. We have dos hermosas damas en un miso cuadro. Don't know what it means, but I think it means two
women in the same room.
See, I'm learning my Spanish. I'm learning a little bit.
You're really good.
Thank you. And then we have from Don Castillo Albendia. He says hello. And then we have Marlon Aseo. I'm watching, ma'am, from Philippines. Oh, look, now you're international.
Much love to the Philippines, because I know they're going to the Philippines.
Yes, definitely. And they're definitely our strong supporters. So I'm sending definitely lots of love to all of my audience out there in the Philippines. So before we went on break, we got to learn a little bit about your upbringing and your childhood. So tell us more now. I know that you give back to nonprofits and you're currently working with one of the district attorney's office. So tell us about that work.
Yes. So I have been working in nonprofits and education for about 6 years now. I do work for at a nonprofit at the moment. It is founded by District Attorney Brian Middleton. He is the first Black DA in Fort Bend County, and he is also the first DA to have diversion programs. He has a total of 9. I worked on a diversion program 2 years ago as well at the Institute of Justice. So I feel like this is full circle because I was a office as well. I was at the DA's office as well. So now that I'm working there as a program coordinator, I feel like it's definitely full circle. The nonprofit, so what we do is we do 4 after-school programs. Everything we do is free, thank God. So after-school programs, we get students' resumes, portfolios, etiquette, public speaking skills, and how to basically pass an interview. We also do SAT workshops, resume buildings. We do field trips. Last week on Friday, we had a Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. It was the first event that I did with them. So I was very excited because I've been doing events for almost a decade, but to do it at a county level, like extra special. So I really enjoy what I do there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. I love that you're giving back to the youth, especially considering everything you went through as a child. I think it's truly wonderful. I think that's also part of your healing process. You're giving back to somebody else that might have been in your shoes, be in your shoes. And, you're helping to support their growth and their development. So that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell us, I know you recently did a trip over the summer with one of those youth groups. Tell us about that trip and what did you guys learn?
So we went on a freedom tour. It was a 7-day long. It was all free. We chose 20 high schoolers from Fort Bend County. We sponsored them and went to 7 different cities. We went to 4 different states. We went to Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Louisiana. We visited Martin Luther King's birthplace, the church he went to as a child. We went to, for me, the most impactful part was in Alabama. We went to Selma, Birmingham, and Montgomery. So we did cross the Selma Bridge, which is really impactful. Yes. We also went to the Legacy Museum. It's definitely a very impactful museum to go to. Everyone should go to the Legacy Museum. It will definitely leave you different. It made me cry. I feel like it talked about like African American history since brought overseas, and like the sculptures they use, the art they use. It's so interactive and it's very like surreal throughout the freedom time. We basically wanted the children to experience the civil rights movement so they can really see like this didn't even happen 100 years ago, right? It's still recent. And
Yeah.
I want them to be inspired by like revolutionaries, because I feel like a lot of kids are they can Google all the answers, but they still are so disconnected.
Yes.
And so it was definitely you could see the kids change. Like the first day they were there, they were goofing off. And then I think like the second or third day, like they were telling me like they don't know their feelings. Like they feel sad and mad and upset. And I was like, all those feelings are right, because we learned about Rosa Parks. We learned about, they saw like videos, and right now, especially because like we have our education system is being changed and defunded left and right. They're giving more money to like private companies who are fueling these schools versus like, public schools that need behavioral support and family support so kids can focus on this stuff, because if not, history is going to repeat itself. So taking the kids on a freedom tour for my job was very impactful, because those little kids, now they get to tell their friends and they're like, hey, Miss Sarah. And they're like, oh, then because we visit the high schools where they're at. We give them after school programs there, and they'll tell their friend about it. Their friend like eyes open, like, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know he was assassinated in Memphis. So
Yes.
I didn't hear that. You hear about it, but like you don't know it, right? So it was nice. It was a nice tour.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think it's impactful for young people today, especially African American children, to visit those historical sites, to really learn the history and to actually see it in person. So now tell me about when you walked across the Selma Bridge. What was that like? What emotions erupted?
So when we were crossing the bridge, it was because like the actual day of, I believe it was called Bloody Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, so back when they first crossed the bridge, they had dogs on them. The police were beating on them during the civil rights, like during the 50s, I believe. Don't quote me, the 1950s. But like now it's just, guys, I'm sorry. I'm on the spot. So yeah. So when they first crossed Summer Bridge on Bloody Sunday, like it was, people were dying. People were getting killed. They had the hoses, the dogs, the cops. And so for us crossing the bridge, it was surreal because we had law enforcement escorting us, right? Protecting us. They closed the road so we could cross and not get hit by cars. So for me, that was kind of like the most like that was the most impactful part, because it was like the same system that was created to harm is now the one that's protecting. And it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. And so the kids, what they did is they made their own signs. Some were like for LGBT, some were for like education. So we let the kids express themselves and stand up for what they believed in and what they wanted to protest for. And then we explained it to them like, hey, like, know that people sacrificed their lives for this. You know what I mean? Like they knew like this wasn't going to be peaches and cream. It was going to be hard. And then after we crossed the bridge, there's a little museum. And we spoke to one of the activists. I forgot her name, but she was there. She was like 12 years old. And so hearing her story was definitely like motivating to me. I definitely want to continue to do more and expand. So I'm always willing to like open and connect, because so the kids can continue to experience things like that, right? And then this upcoming year, our funding is different. So we're going to be needing sponsors and stuff so the kids can learn. We'll probably take some adults on the tour as well, have our own version for the adults too. So yeah, it's a lot of goodness in the bitter, what was it? A lot of goodness in the sadness, because it's sad, but like we've grown so much, and progress is progress. It's slow, but I feel like we have to like celebrate the wins we do have. If we focus on what we don't have, we won't be grateful. And I feel like that's kind of what hurts us too.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that you said progress is progress. That's beautiful. It must have been so surreal to walk across that bridge thinking at one point in time, those law enforcement was, hosing people and attacking people and preventing them from going across. So that's definitely coming full circle. So that's really very interesting experience. I know that's one you'll definitely remember for a lifetime. So that's really awesome. Yeah, and I'm so glad those students got to experience that too. When it comes to the Jewish culture, they all do a trip to Israel, and they kind of walk through the city and they learn where their roots are from, where their history is from for the Jewish culture. But for African Americans, we don't always go to those historical sites to visit and to see those events and those landmarks and those things that truly happen. So I really love this program. And if they're taking adults, I'll go too. I'll volunteer.
Definitely let you know. Hopefully. Important.
Yes, absolutely. That's so beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and take our second commercial break of the evening, but everybody stay tuned for more Pink Table Talk with Sara Martinez.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel. Filing taxes, dealing with tax debt, or facing IRS actions is stressful, but you don't have to go it alone. Call 832-674-0829 or visit www.taxresolutionesq.com.
Don't miss out legal knowledge of legal treats with attorney Aileen every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time or Saturday 7:30 a.m. PHT. The most awaited Saturday show is coming back. Teacher Talk. Live Chikahan with Ma'am Cora and Dr. Nils. Launching soon. Shake, shimmy, and shine. Scarlett's got your dance workout covered. Tune in live every Sunday 7 p.m. CST or Monday 8 a.m. PHT for Swirl It with Scarlett.
Welcome back, everybody, to Pink Table Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Carly D. The show is produced by Lawin Media Network Live, and you can catch us live every Wednesdays on our YouTube channel, Facebook Live, Twitch TV, and on all podcast platforms. Tonight, we've been talking with the lovely actress, Sara Martinez, who's not only an actress, she is also an advocate, and she works with children through a nonprofit here in Houston area. So, Sara, we've been getting to know you and know all the beautiful projects and things that you're doing on the nonprofit side. So now talk to us about your acting and your cool show. I want to know all about it.
Yes. So I am part of a little show. It's called A Little Show. It's After Hours, AFTEROURS. After Hours, A Little Show. It's our first season and we have 5 episodes. So we're currently publishing episode 4, I believe by the end of this week. I'm in 3 out of 5 of them. So I'm really excited. It was my first time auditioning as an adult and I got the part. And well, actually, I didn't get the part I auditioned for.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
So tell us about that.
The role I play is Alex. I play Alex. So when I auditioned for another role. Someone else got it, and Alex didn't have any lines. She was just supposed to be a supporting member. But they loved me so much, they wrote me in some lines, and then they also included me back for episode 4 and 5. So I thought that was really special, and then it just kind of shows that, like, hey, I was pushing myself and doing the right thing, because I didn't expect that. So I was really thankful. So it is on YouTube right now as well. I don't have any clips on me. I could put it in the...
Yeah, we like to see some. If you have anything, that would be really cool. And is it filmed live? Tell us about it. What is the process?
So my friend Leslie, she is actually an actress director as well. So she blocked the whole episode. So it is recorded on set. It is recorded. It was really great experience because seeing somebody who's like the same age as me direct it, cast it, it was really impactful. I liked it a lot. I like that it was literally like a set, like lights, camera, action. You have your snacks over here, you have the extras over here. You had to do my own hair and makeup, your own board. Yeah. So I really liked it. Episode 4 was at a bar, so it was really good over there too. So I'm excited to start filming for season 2 soon.
Very nice, very nice. And so tell us, what is the show about? What is the premise of it?
So After Hours, the little show. So basically it involves a lot of music. It's kind of like a media agency in a sense.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so that's episode 2. So yeah, It's really nice. So it's basically a media agency. So for episode 2, it's these 2 journalists who need to find someone to interview. And so they're trying to search for them and they're running into obstacles. And they have 2 nemesis who are basically 2 interns basically who are trying to steal their jobs. And so they're going at each other. And eventually they do find somebody. She's outside alone playing the guitar. And so then they find her, they interview her, they keep their jobs, and at the end, they're just some haters. So
very cool, very cool. Definitely, will be fun and inspiring for the youth of today. And so who is your target audience for this show?
Our target audience, the young adults, like teenagers and young adults. Is fun. I feel like everyone can enjoy it. we're definitely like expanding on some more as well. So it's a good show. I feel like it'll make you laugh. It definitely will grab your attention, but it's really upbeat and it's good overall.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Do you feel that you may be helping to write some episodes in the future with your writing skills?
Hopefully, I am hoping so. I've been writing, I write a lot of poetry and I've been writing like short films recently too, like little skits. Like one of them that I'll talk about briefly is kind of like a picnic date gone wrong. It was inspired picnic date that went right. And I was like, everything that could possibly go wrong. Like the strawberries and the whipped cream exploding everywhere, getting on her dress. So like that one's like fun. I feel like a lot of things that I do write are actually like kind of like dark romance. It's like, oh, like my heart's broken. The rose is losing its petals. So a lot of my poetry and writing is kind of dark. So I feel like it's healing though, because those are the feelings that I had or have
Very
sometimes.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, very nice. And so, what inspired you to get into acting? And have you done any acting classes, acting training? How did this all begin?
So I did technical theater, and while I was in high school, Mr. Jules was a great teacher to me. He really like was my safe space. So I was definitely like a theater tech nerd. I was a nerd in high school, okay? I was too shy to do theater, but I'd always do lights and sounds. I would build the backdrops, the props, help with costumes and wardrobes and makeup. Like I would do special effects too. And so it was like senior year, it was like the last play, and I wanted to be casted. So I did my thing, my audition. I got casted as a bird. And my as a parrot to be exact. I literally got casted as a parrot, and my line was to squawk. And I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't squawk right now. And he's like, you have to. And I was like, I've never acted in my life. I'm shy. You want me to squawk? Let me see. I have the picture right here. So it was definitely like such a silly thing. And so I was too scared. I didn't squawk, but we did makeup. Our makeup was really nice. I was a parrot to be specific. It was really cute. Here's a
Oh boy. Oh, very cool. Very
with a
cool.
pirate outfit.
Yeah.
So as
Good
an
memory.
adult, yeah, it's good. So that's all the acting career I had before After Hours, a little show. But because the show has inspired me, I met a cast member named Marcus, and he told me about Baron Brown Studios, and so you had to audition as well, and it's audition to be part of the studio, and I got accepted. Apparently it's really hard to get into, and I was like, oh my god, y'all chose me. So it was very like, I guess like career changing in my heart, because I was like, this is something I really want to do now. Like I wanted to, scared, push academy. Like I feel like it's a really intense class. So what happened is I finished my first 6 weeks, and God willing, I start my first year training at the 15th. Like later on in October, I should go back. So yeah, it was really good. It's based in Los Angeles, so we were able to do it virtually. But I hope to go to Los Angeles to get in-person training too soon. So it's really great, because only four, like the whole class meets in person, and only four of us were virtual. So out of like, I was like, guys, they chose us. Like, this is huge, guys. Like, we all the way in Texas, and they wanted us over here. So it meant a lot. And Miss Elaine, like, she really changed my life. Like, she really did. She makes me feel bold. But she told me to be more vulnerable. She said, get used to being naked, because that's what actors are. You're just on display. like everything about you will get known. Everything about you is going to be exposed and on display. And I was like, to be heard. I do it for everybody else, but I was so used to just put others before me and put your feelings last. Okay, I gotta handle this. Okay, I gotta abandon self to handle this situation, abandon self for this. And so I felt like I was able to get by life not being open or true to who I was. But she's like, I see you. She called me out. And I was like, I had a breakdown. And she's like, that's what I needed. And I was like, okay. And then coincidentally enough, now the Dr. Carly D was like, hey, make an interview. And I was like, after my breakdown, this is great. And so I feel like God's timing is really like,
Yeah, got to get out of that comfort zone.
yes.
You know, when I was growing up, I was very shy, and we had a program in my school. They did like pop-up visits, and it was called Tada, and it was like a theater arts class. And I remember signing up to take it. And the first class, they were like, everybody pick an animal and act like an animal. And I was like, this is so weird. And so we're like all walking around, pretending to be different animals. And so it ended up being fun because I kind of gave into the experience. And it did kind of help me come out of a little bit of my shyness, because I'm like, well, everybody's here acting silly, acting like an animal, you know. And so it kind of helped me to kind of build, you know, just kind of get over that fear, you know, of looking silly and being awkward, you know. And I think that's where a lot of my shyness that came from, was like not trying to look stupid. But we were all doing it. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna, you know, do this experience. And it was fun, you know, and I really enjoyed it, you know. And you know, growing up in New York, you know, we're all theater kids. We all love the theater and Broadway and acting, and you know, it's definitely so fun. And so you know, I love this for you. You know, I think you have such a beautiful soul, and you know, we need to continue to let people see your light shine in all of your creative forms.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I feel like acting definitely does give you that safe space, right? It's like it forces you to be yourself. So I'm glad we experienced that, because a lot of people can't say that, you know, that they push themselves. 'Cause a lot of people don't, right?
Yes.
They're just like they point fingers, they're angry all the time. And it's like, but what are you doing though? You know what I mean? Like, how are you choosing happiness? You know, are you pushing yourself? Because like being comfortable is good, but to grow, like there's a saying, like when you plant you know, like you grow a plant, right? You put the seed in the dirt, but like as it grows, it needs a new pot. And if you don't take it out and put it into a new pot, it's gonna rot. And so every time we're growing and repotting ourselves into new areas, new spaces that might be a little bit too small for at the moment, but soon we can outgrow it too. So I feel like that's stuff that I tell myself because it's hard. I be like, God, where am I? Where am I? I'm in a new pot. Okay, new home, new zone, new level, all that. So
That's so true. I love that. I love that analogy. That's so beautiful. And I feel like it's speaking to me. You know, I feel like I understand that right now. And it's like, you know, sometimes we try to keep ourselves in small spaces. You know, we try to hide our light. We try to bury our light. Or maybe we're too afraid to grow and to be all that we were meant to be. But I love that, you know, we're going to a different pot, a bigger space for us to continue to grow. So I love that. That's really beautiful.
thank you. That's definitely how I feel a lot. You know, like I want to like whenever you're like the weird kid, the hipster, the one that stands out, like you don't look like nobody, like you stand out. Like, you just want to disappear. And it's like, no, like from the time you were born, the place you were born, the way you look, the way you sound, like all that is intentional and like God created. So that's why I tell myself now, it's like I looked how I looked for a reason, you know? I was like, I sound how I sound, I speak this, like everything's for a reason and it's perfect because God.
Oh, I love that. That's
Live by,
beautiful.
like, I know it in my head.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's really beautiful. We're going to go to our final break of the evening. I can't believe we're almost at the end of our hour. This has been such a fun and interesting and inspiring conversation. But everybody stay tuned after the break for more Pink Table Talk with Sara Martinez.
For divorce and family law in Texas, Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC will guide you every step of the way.
From initial consultation to detailed review of your case and strategic planning.
We'll sit with you during negotiations or mediations, and represent you in court.
Whether it is a family law, estate planning, or immigration, we will be there to guide through the final steps.
So, leave your legal matters behind you and embrace your future.
You can contact Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC at 346-5454-346 or visit DizonLawFirm.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Pink Table Talk. Tonight, we've been talking with Sara Martinez. By day, she's out there working the nonprofits, helping, inspiring the youth of America. But by night or after hours, we have Sara Monarch, actress in the beautiful and funny show. So before we went on our break, we talked about growth. We talked about healing. We talked about getting out of our comfort zone. So tell us now about your art. I know you love art. I know that's one of your forms of expression. So tell us about that, Sara.
So I find art in like writing, acting, but I've also picked up a new trait. I try sculpting. I
Ooh.
sculpted a hamburger.
You were gonna say something like, I don't know, an angel or a cherub or something.
Right? No, hamburger. Very Americana. So I also model as well. So modeling is something right there on the top. You can see my acting. I do model as well. The first one is my birthday shoot. The birthday shoot. The other two are from acting from after hours. And then if you go further down, like I go to a lot of fashion shows. So like fashion, writing, acting, poetry, sculpting. I do paint as well. I do a little bit of everything. I'm just so private about everything that I do, but I feel like it's needed. Like that one right there in the middle with the black dress, I'm in an orchestra. You know what I mean? I'm in an orchestra. I love food. I feel like everything is art in a way too. So yeah, I just love it. I'm in a
Now
hair
explain
blonde.
this wig here.
So my friend Salma, she has the Kinky Hair Show and Black History Project. So for Black History Project, she has the Kinky Hair Show. And there's no I in Kinky because there's no I in team. So she's funny. But that's really like creative. And so she wanted to put me in a blonde bob. And so there was other like great models who were also like wearing different hairstyles and different clothes. They were just walking around. And I like that she made it an interactive model experience. Instead of us being on a runway, like we would walk and like socialize with the crowd. So it was a really great experience. I loved it. Definitely want to do more shows. I have one coming up in Dallas, actually. Fingers crossed.
Nice.
October 19th. It's called The Rooted. So they're gonna have it's a farmer's market and a runway at the same time. So it's like a community.
Very cool, very cool. I love that you find the unique, especially here in Texas. So
we find each other.
we have a comment from one of our audience members. For After Hours Mag, they said, "Keep shining, Sara." From your After Hours family. Oh, yes. That's so wonderful that they're watching. Yes,
yeah.
That's great. I love that. That's wonderful. You guys are showing love and supporting for each other. So speaking of that, how is your crew? How is it working with them? Of course, you're going to say great things, but tell us about that experience, your other castmates.
Amazing. Like, they're amazing, especially Les. They're just great people. Like, we want to see each other win. You know, like, we push each other's, like, we have Marcus, we have Rain. I see Rain and Les collaborate. They did a project together as well. Marcus and I were working on a scene together. And so a lot of us there's so many castmates too. You know, I'm sorry for everybody I'm not naming. I'm nervous. But I is real. Ooh, the love is there. It's just time. Cause like I work full time, and then when I do have time off, like I have my side quests that I do, and then it's like like I have beautiful people in my life, and I feel like I need to water the garden that I have. So take the time to really truly be present because they are very exciting. Definitely follow us on Instagram because we're gonna keep doing more with shortly too. I do have a TikTok. I only posted 2 videos on it. I'm gonna post more. I have them all sitting in the drafts. So yeah.
Yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. And so, besides the farmers market, what modeling show, what other projects is coming down the pipe for Sara Martinez?
Coming down. Well, nothing on the books yet. I do have like small projects. Like I'm gonna be recording 2 scenes, one with my friend Marcus and one with my friend Athens. One of them is gonna be Wednesday's Child, and the other one is gonna be a segment from Atlanta. So that one's gonna be very passionate. We already kind of wrote it down. We're gonna block it, and so now it's just memorizing because I can act, but memorizing's always been the hardest part for me because everything's digital. I don't have to think much to get an answer. So I'm definitely trying to read more. It's true. That's what I was like. If I know my brain's like this, I couldn't imagine like how kids.
Yes.
But word searches, Sudoku, like going to Dollar Tree, just doing that is helping me be more on paper.
Yes, that's awesome. Do you have any other techniques for memory, or do you like writing things down? How do you remember your lines?
So I do write them down. Coach told me is like when you are trying to learn your lines, you want to focus on yours, but like you have to like 70%. Like I know 70% of this, then you have to like act it out. So you have to figure out the tone. Like one of them that I'm doing for Wednesday's Child, I'm basically cheating on my husband, and I'm like, yes, and I'm leaving you. That one was hard because I felt like that's very real to me. It was very real. Like it was definitely like I come home, he's sitting on the couch and he's like, why'd you come home so late? I was like, why are you up? You know? And he's like, aren't you tired? And I was like, well, since you're up, that, you know, I've been cheating on you. And then she says, all I ever meant to you was a housekeeper, someone to come home to and sleep with because he worked so much. And I was like, yes, ma'am, very true. So it was hard for me to memorize. It was hard for me to memorize because my emotions were in it a lot. And you have to use your emotions to act that part versus like, because if so, like, whenever I feel nervous, I express my nervousness through my character. If I'm feeling angry, reliving this moment, I show that in my character versus like trying to put it down. So like she's like, like, I'm nothing else but someone you come home to sleep with, a housekeeper, anyone else would do. And he's like, fine then. And I was like, well, go ahead and find someone else in my place, because go and find someone. I actually have it right here. Let me read it. Because, like, see, when you're nervous, you in your head, you can't do it. You're gonna affect me. But yeah, she's like this was always the hardest part. She's like, well, go ahead and hire someone else in my place. I'm not going to be a housekeeper any longer. This isn't enough for me. My happiness, my life means something to me. We should have never gotten married. I'm not happy with you. I try to tell you that again and again. And so, like, I'm just reading the link, but, like, that's basically what we're going to be recording and memorizing and honing it down. And then another part, another one's going to be with Marcus. It's going to be a scene from Childish Gambino, Donald Glover's Atlanta. And so we're going to do a script from there too. They're having a deep conversation too. So I feel like dramas are kind of where the route I'm leaning into, which I'm like drama, a little action, a little explosion. Like, I feel like that's kind of like the genre I want to, like, really explore more. Comedy, love it. I feel like it's easy. I love comedy. I'm silly and goofy, but drama, I feel like that would show the side of me that, like, I kind of, like, pushed away.
Yeah, that's so cool. Very cool. Those are some deep lines. It's hard not to get emotional with lines like that.
Yeah, she went straight. She said, you can do this. And I was like, but yeah, reading, I was crying. I remember, like, this is an intense, like, it's Baron Brown Studios. It's very, like, sacred. Like, it's very much a safe space. Like, I was crying, reading my lines and having to start over and keep crying and start over. Because, like, I couldn't stop crying, but that's how, like, it's because it broke me in a good way. You have to break down for a breakthrough.
Wow. I like that. That's good.
So, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Nice.
God definitely made me his toughest soldier. I've been through so much. God has been so good to me.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Oh, I just want to say thank you so much, Sara, for coming on today. You have been so absolutely delightful and inspiring. You definitely given us a lot of great lines. Like, I love the breakdown for the breakthrough. You know, progress is progress. I mean, come on, girl, you are a slogan.
I need t-shirt like just slogan after slogan.
I have a whole bunch of t-shirt ideas now.
We can do t-shirts, you know.
Yes. So thank you so much, Sara. Everybody, make sure you check out After Hours. Check out her TikToks when she finished uploading more videos for everybody.
Follow my Instagram.
Yes, her
posted
Instagram,
today for once.
Yes. We have one last comment of the evening. It's from Texana Young. She says, so proud of you, Sara.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, Texana. So everybody, stay tuned again for next week. We're going to have some more Pink Table Talk at 7 p.m. Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. You can catch us on Lawin Media Network through our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitch TV, and on all podcast platforms. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I hope you all have a good night. Bye.